Hello, and welcome to Psyched for Sanity. I am one of your hosts, Dr. Brindle Doss. I'm a licensed psychologist specializing in trauma treatment, assessment, forensic psychology, and geriatric psychology.
And I'm Dr. Tara McKelvey Parker. I am also a licensed clinical psychologist. I specialize in assessing and treating complex trauma and attachment wounds from childhood.
Okay.
And I am very, very, very scared of bees and wasps and anything that would be considered a flying needle. That's what it is. It's legitimately a flying needle that is going to stab your body.
I wasn't prepared. A flying needle?
Yeah.
I'm literally...
That's what they have. They stab, they poke you, they sting you, they harm you with their flying needle.
I'm not disagreeing with the metaphor. I just love it, though.
That's why I'm scared. It's when we were on postdoc together.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
Oh my God! Wait.
When we would sometimes sit out
most of the time.
A lot of actually
like 90% of the time because there was nowhere else to eat lunch.
They had picnic tables on the patio in the back, and we would go out there and eat. And the building is by like a woodsy.
It was by a wooded area. It's all overlooking complete solid woods.
So there were many bees. It's like when one of those suckers comes anywhere near me,
or anything that you presume to be a bee.
Anything that is presumed to be a bee, I'm literally in flight mode as fast as possible. I would hop up on that picnic table. I'd be running down the patio before you guys even knew what was happening.
Yeah, we'd be like, what's going on? And she'd be gone.
Gone. So
you would move that was the fastest I think I ever saw you move.
I've gotten better because I'm purposefully trying.
Good for you.
To name my fear.
Yeah.
And because they don't, it's not logical. If I just stayed still, I'd be less likely to be stung.
Yeah,
right?
If you move around a lot, that agitates the bees.
Exactly. So I know this response is not super helpful.
Right.
Unless I can indeed get away super, super fast.
Right.
But most of the time, they've already flown around you and they're near you.
You really don't like them.
I really don't. And, so I'm trying to really name it.
Good.
And feel it.
And tame it.
And breathe through it.
Yeah.
And stay still.
Right.
And know that even if I get stung by a flying insect, I will probably be okay because I'm not allergic or anything.
Well,
my life is not in danger.
Your life is not in danger.
You're
not on the precipice of death.
Exactly.
Well, so spoiler alert, I also have a fear of a flying thing, but not bees.
Okay.
I am afraid of birds.
Yeah, I think you've told me that before, and
yes.
I
yes.
I want to immediately make fun of you, but also there's a whole movie, scary movie, right, about birds.
Old movie, yeah.
I can kind of get it.
Well,
but why are you?
So
scared
I've had several traumatic bird stories. As a child, I was chased by geese at a park.
Yeah, that is scary.
And that's scary because I was the same size as the goose.
That's actually very scary.
And then second of all, I was in my probably early 20s, and there was some trees outside where I worked, and a baby bird had fallen, and I was trying to help the baby bird. And of course, when you try to help a baby bird, what does the mama bird do?
Yeah.
Knocked my hat off. It was very upsetting. I'm I'm just trying to help. But they don't care. They don't speak English. And so, so I just got assailed by birds, and also much like bees, they're unpredictable.
Hold on, bees are unpredictable, or birds?
Both of them. You don't know which way they're going to go.
Well, that's true. That's the same about cockroaches. You could say that about any scary insect, animal thing.
Yeah,
but fear.
Birds and snakes.
Oh, see, snakes. I'm not
snakes. You know what? Because nothing without legs should move that freaking fast.
Do they move fast? This is why maybe I'm not scared, because I've never really encountered one.
I have a serious snake story. I don't know if we have time for it, but I have a very scary. I was out watering my plants. I was in an apartment complex before I had children, and I had one of my cats that was with me, and she likes to go on the patio. I was watering a very large, beautiful fern, a Boston fern, love a fern. I was watering, and I noticed something in there, but I'm like, oh, it's like a lizard. Mm-hmm. And I kept seeing parts of this a body, and I found no legs. And then I'm like, oh. So then I was out there watering for at least 30 minutes. It was a hot day in Texas, and the cat was out there with me. And eventually I took a picture of it, and then I took the cat and me inside and I sent it to my friend who's a big herper. That's a name for a person that's really into snakes.
You surround yourself with people who also do very special things. Thank you. Very special things.
Very unique community. Herper.
Herper.
No, Herper.
I have never
Herper.
heard that word.
Mhm.
Okay, continue. Interesting.
I'm sure that very into snakes is not the formal definition of herper, but that is the only definition that's coming to mind. Anyways, took a picture, sent it to him, and I said, "Hey, what is?" He's like, "Hey, where are you?" And was not a fast texter. This was a while ago, and I'm like, "Wow, He's like, "Yeah, that's one of the 2 poisonous snakes in Texas. Where are you? I'm coming to get that snake."
Why did he come?
Because
it can't like be out.
Well, it was on my
Dangerous,
patio,
dangerous?
and it could have. If it had bitten me, I would have had to go. It was like a copperhead.
Oh,
Yeah, it was a
gosh.
copperhead.
Oh my gosh! So he
And it
just
would have
came
killed my
over?
cat if it had bitten my cat, and it would have definitely. I would have had to been hospitalized for sure.
Okay,
But it was
so
in my fern,
that is really, really
so
scary.
I was very scared.
Well,
Lots of
and
fear.
it ties directly into our next episode. Our next episode in this mini series,
Of Emotions 101.
Emotion 101.
Yeah.
This one's all about fear.
Fear.
And that's why you have a skull and crossbones sweater
because-
on. I just wanted everyone to know why, so they're
mean,
not confused.
I think
by-
most people that watch the podcast that would observe my shirt be like, "Oh yeah, it's that weird one that is unique and that the other one makes fun of." Yes, no, but the
it's
shirt
relevant.
it's relevant today. It's intentional.
Okay.
I'm not transitioning into a pirate.
See, that's why I needed to clarify, though. I wanted to make sure everyone knows you're not trans, because that's something that you could legitimately do based
That
on
would be
your
like join
unique,
piracy.
unique. Yeah, I wouldn't put it past you. You told us
Piracy is
last time
illegal.
You
First
like
of all,
you like to watch videos of horse hooves being trimmed.
you're
Anyway,
not letting that go, are you?
fear, technically is, again, all emotions are messengers. So
Right.
they serve a purpose.
Right.
And you guys have probably seen Inside Out, so you probably know this. Fear is meant to keep you safe and protected.
Right. Yes.
So in your situation, your
It
fear
served
was
a purpose.
super helpful, right? Like snakes can kill you.
right. Yeah.
Um,
And I wasn't afraid. I was just like more curious. And
you
at
weren't
all.
afraid? Well, because you didn't know yet.
I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what kind of snake it was.
Right. Right.
I don't like any snake, but the majority of them are not going to kill you or
So
whatever.
she's able to stay calm and logical when she's scared, unlike me, and I'm running.
she's on top of a picnic
I'm
table.
running away. But fear is meant to keep us safe and protected.
Right.
So it can be super helpful. We all feel scared sometimes.
Mhm.
It's really like,
Right.
take pause before you do that thing,
Right,
or
well-
investigate that thing further out of curiosity, right?
Absolutely.
Or like take precaution to stay safe.
Well, speaking of that, so I have a story to help people understand fear.
You always have stories.
I do. I'm a story girl.
You're supposed to let me just listen.
Let me just tell you my story.
And I'll listen.
So, okay, imagine you and I are friends.
I can picture it, I guess.
Okay. Ouch. Whoa. We'll talk about that off the pod later. No, you and I decided to go for a walk together in a park that's in our neighborhood. Okay, it's in the
That
evening.
sounds lovely. Oh, nighttime?
In the
See,
evening,
my fear is spiking. Why are we need to make
because
sure
of the bees that come out at night.
because of the nighttime. We need to take appropriate precaution on this walk.
What precaution do we should take on the?
Always go in pairs.
Oh, I was like, you're gonna bring like.
Or maybe some mace.
Okay.
Continue. We're walking in the park.
We're
and we are
walking on a
safe and
path, like a
protected.
concrete path. We're walking on a path. We're walking. We're chit chatting. Nothing specific. And suddenly, out of nowhere, we hear what is an unmistakable howl. It's not a dog barking. It is a howl.
Okay. Okay.
So
I'm glad I brought mace.
you're really throwing off my story with this mace.
Continue.
So anyway,
Continue. I
yes, we
apologize.
have your mace, I guess, but I don't know. So normally, if one does not bring mace and want to fight a wolf, what you normally would happen is that typically, the hair on the back of your neck might stand up. Your body kind of is now on alert. We'll talk about what that looks like in a minute, that alertness, but within your body. But when you both discuss the wolf sound, then maybe you take precaution. And the fear that you suddenly feel with the hair back of your neck motivates you to get off the trail and go to your cars.
Yeah, maybe mace might not work in this
So
situation.
maybe you don't fight the wolf.
Maybe I'm just saying no. I'm not fighting the wolf. I'm saying if it's coming after us and we're running to the car, maybe I spray some in its eyes.
I think you've watched too much Twilight.
Yeah, probably. But I think
'Cause I don't think they're. I'm like,
you don't think so.
no,
That wouldn't work.
No, that's not that it wouldn't work. I don't think it's unnecessary. Just leave the trail.
We'll just try to leave the trail, folks. So yes, it motivates us, right? It motivates
Action.
us to take precaution to protect ourselves in some kind of way.
Yes.
When we in our last episode we talked a little bit about shame on steroids.
Yeah.
Right. When you have
Toxic shame.
when you have a history of abuse and or neglect, or trauma in some form. Whenever you have a history of abuse and neglect, and with fear,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes fear on steroids.
Yeah.
Right. So then everything lots of things feel scary.
Gosh. Yeah.
And we feel kind of hyper vigilant. So we're kind of always acting out of fear. We're scanning for threat or danger all of the time.
Yeah.
If someone is behind us and, they like maybe bump into us, the fear center in our brain kind of lights up and we may think
The
that
amygdala.
there's some kind of harm intended.
Right. You
even though
mentioned
that
hypervigilance.
Yes, I did.
Would you like to hear about the HPA axis?
Yes, I would love to.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You don't sound like you want to.
It's because it confuses me, but I'm willing to listen.
Okay. All right. So when you are walking in the woods or you perceive you have that trauma event, whatever, you perceive some type of threat or danger, the fear center sends out a chemical messenger to the next part. So the HPA axis stands for hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. And this is literally, the way I like to view it, is literally like a waterfall effect of neurochemical reactions or like messages within the body that tells the body to be prepared and to be alert.
Okay.
So once the amygdala activates the hypothalamus and then it goes to the pituitary.
You've lost me.
So basically it starts in the brain.
Starts in the brain. There's a waterfall.
Yes. A neurochemical waterfall, literally hormones.
Okay.
And the last step of the waterfall, it releases cortisol in the body.
Okay.
This is a really rough.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll have our critics out there. This is a rough.
Yeah, but
sketch.
that kind of helped me visualize it a little bit. Yeah.
This is a rough sketch of this axis that basically the whole purpose of the HPA axis is to maintain homeostasis in the body.
Mm-hmm.
Homeostasis meaning calm, relatively relaxed state where you're not, in terms of physiological or body-based arousal, you're not super alert, you're not super drowsy, but just calmness within the body. And so the HPA axis, when it's activated, is a negative feedback loop. The way it's supposed to work when it's working effectively is that it's activated to alert the body to prepare for action, which is the message, right?
Right.
So the hormone that really you probably have heard of, that's the ultimate result is cortisol.
Mm-hmm.
The last step is the cortisol is released in the body. Cortisol will send the muscles and the blood toward the muscles, away from digestion, away from reproduction, and it prepares the body to engage or to move in some capacity.
Yes. So when you
and then return it to homeostasis.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Psychophysiology was hard for me.
I loved it.
It's a lot of details to hold on to.
Yeah.
But that makes sense. So, folks who are hypervigilant,
right?
This process is happening.
Yes.
Like over and over and over and over.
Yeah.
It's being triggered over and over and over and over. Like for, because so many things feel scary, and that even if they are, aren't, or you're safe. Right. Like kind of everyday things could be
and the chronic
that
activation
way.
Keeps a higher level of cortisol in the body and prevents the body from returning to homeostasis. Yeah.
Yeah, and cortisol is associated with all kinds of physical health issues.
Excessive cortisol.
Excessive cortisol, yeah.
It's a natural process in the body, but when that heightened stress happens and it's maintained at higher levels than is typical,
that's when it can start to deteriorate.
Correct.
And she mentioned trouble with digestion, so like when we talk about the different ways that fear manifests, one is somatic, or bodily symptoms, right. So you may not feel a lot of fear. For me, that is one of the primary ways that I experience fear, but I have a lot of the bodily stuff too. So people with, overactivation of this system who are like in chronic stress, who have a lot of cortisol, they're more likely to have like bowel issues.
Right. Stomach issues, headaches.
Definitely. All of that stuff really
even
upsets
like
the
pain
stomach.
within the body, like physical pain.
That's one of my big ones. It's called armoring. When you're hypervigilant and you're sort of always prepared for something to happen.
Always tense.
Like, your body just kind of like does this just like physical armor of like bracing.
Right.
And so for me, like that's where a lot of it is. I have to do, I have to like be aware,
You have to intentionally like
like clench my body,
release the muscles. Yeah.
unclench. Yeah, it's like literally like a clenching of the body.
Right.
That happens from that overactivation of cortisol. I mean, normally too. So it's all on the spectrum. We all do this stuff sometimes, but when it gets to be like armoring, like really kind of like chronic,
Right.
it can, be more from hypervigilance. What are some other ones like bodily
sensations,
manifestations of anxiety?
Yeah, like some people will have recurrent pain in a specific region of the body that's untied to a known injury.
Yep. Body pains, fatigue is another big one.
Right.
Because
Exhaustion.
of all of the like, and this is really more, again, you can be scared sometimes and you can be scared often or all of the time. And that is when you get into more of the sort of overactivation. And those folks are exhausted because it's just like a lot of energy.
Because the body's working so hard to expend energy to keep it on alert.
Exactly.
Literally.
Actually. So you are tired.
Yeah.
So fatigue is one of those things that go with anxiety. So you may not feel anxious,
right?
But if you're noticing any of these physical signs of fear or anxiety, then it's possible that you are experiencing fear.
I noticed you said 2 different words there.
Yeah, I know. Caught myself.
Yeah. So, but that's not a bad thing. So let's talk about that. So fear and anxiety, how are those two? Obviously, they're related. Some people might not know that, but they are related. Can you explain to our viewers and listeners, like, how are fear and anxiety tied together?
It's a good question. I mean, I guess first and foremost, I do conceptualize emotions on a spectrum.
Yes.
So fear is like primitive.
A spectrum of intensity?
Intensity.
Okay.
Yeah. Fear is primitive. It's like something bad is going to happen to me. Like I need to move.
Right.
Like I am unsafe.
Well, all fear at the heart of it is fear of death and or serious impairment.
Or abandonment, rejection,
extreme
loss, because that triggers a lot of fear.
Absolutely.
Too, like more primitive fear.
Yes.
So I think about fear being like really intense and really primitive and like core, and anxiety sometimes like feeling less intense and then being more of the manifestation of fear. So like, when I think about all these symptoms I just mentioned that go with fear, they're core symptoms of an anxiety disorder.
They are.
To me, anxiety, when you have like a generalized anxiety disorder, which means that you are scared all the time. Like you think something bad is going to happen. If I'm late, I'm going to be fired, then I'll lose, I'm not going to have any money, and then I'll live under a bridge.
Yeah.
Right? It's like this kind of, like cognitive manifestation of this fear that you have about being like not being able to survive.
Yeah, and those can present as like racing thoughts, that rumination that you mentioned, the catastrophizing.
Yes, exactly. So these are some of the more cognitive manifestations of fear.
Right.
Like, yes, when I have, stress about money. And so really, if I kind of follow my line of thinking back, it goes, it's always about living under a bridge. Like, I will be like homeless, right?
Yeah,
like my fear tells me like, if I don't make enough money and like, I can't pay my bills and then I can't, like, I won't have a place to live, and then I'm going to like be on the streets. And that is like incredibly scary. So that's why I'm like, that's like the origin of my anxiety about money.
Is that motivational?
So it is motivational when it is to a lesser degree.
Right.
But when it gets really intense,
it's not motivational. What happens then?
Well, what happens then is that's when the freeze. Right? This is where the 4, I think I've talked about it in previous
remind everybody
episodes. The 4 Fs, this is when our fear is on steroids. This is when like it feels really, really scary. We can't see past it. This is when, we have a history of like trauma. We do like these 4 strategies unconsciously and automatically. One is freeze. Like I can't do anything about this. Like I'm just going to avoid the money situation.
It's complete and utter inaction. It's not motivating change or change in behavior.
Yeah, you just you freeze. You feel hopeless. You feel overwhelmed. You're panicked. You just can't do anything.
Okay.
Or you dissociate. As well. You just kind of like. Then there is fawn, and that's when you're.
That's a newer one.
It's a newer one. Yeah, it is when you are it's kind of people pleasing, like to the nth degree, at the expense of your identity and your wants and your needs, and you're sort
Wow.
of like, it's all about the other person.
It's doing anything I can to make myself feel secure.
Well, yeah, in the relationship, yeah. So because the fawning is like a protective strategy from being left, usually, or and
Yeah.
then we've got fight. So
You and the mace and the wolf.
that is my fight response. I should be proud of myself because I'm not usually a fighter. But I guess imaginary
I'm gonna be in the
scenarios
car
with
while
wolves
you're
and
fighting
mace.
like that's the thing though. Like you're gonna just leave. Why do you need to like?
And folks, flight
Sorry.
is the other F. Yeah, it's just getting out of there, leaving, running.
It's Dr. Dawson the car.
Yeah, it's me and the bees. It's
You
just
do
like,
take flight when the bees come after you.
I do. And flight is one of my primary strategies in general.
Sure.
Because it also is overperforming, staying extra busy and productive and achievement oriented to the,
Right.
It's all of those things too. So that's flight. So that's when we're in like
Right.
hypervigilance, like really
Hypervigilance.
scared, like I'm unsafe, not like, oh, maybe this is a poisonous snake.
Right.
And I need to investigate / get help / kind of like keep my
that's what I
distance
did, yeah.
because that's protective
Right.
and like normative.
Right. It's relatively motivational, but not overreactive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, so that's why I use those, I guess, interchangeably because that is how I kind of conceptualize. But so fear cognitively, the black and white thinking.
Yes, absolute thinking.
That's a real big one. So like I suck or they suck. It's like that black and white, like can't see gray area thinking.
Can't balance out our perspective.
Can't integrate is what I like to say. Like you can't integrate at the same time that you are a good person and also make mistakes.
Right.
It's just I suck.
Yeah.
Right. So catastrophic thinking. So I'm probably living under a bridge.
Right.
That's catastrophic. Like the
Doom and
worst
gloom.
case scenario is going to happen. This is definitely fear and anxiety.
Yeah.
Mind reading is another one that is common, I think, is like assuming you know what that person's thinking about
probably
you.
blah, 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 blah,
They
blah.
probably hate me. They probably think I said something really dumb. These are manifestations of fear and anxiety.
Right.
Yes. You said racing.
Racing thoughts.
Yeah.
Just where your thoughts feel like they're tumbling like so fast you cannot get one to the other and you feel almost like out of breath from how fast your brain is spinning and spiraling without any kind of balance or reality testing.
Yeah, so you're hitting on the racing and also sort of the disorganized. Sometimes it's like they're going really fast, but also sometimes they're jumbly and they don't make sense.
Jumbly and all over the place and just
distorted.
Chaotic.
Chaotic. This can be fear and anxiety.
Absolutely.
And then looping.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Looping. Oh my God, I said that thing to that person. They probably think I'm the like biggest loser.
So you're just rehearsing it, rehashing it over and over in your head.
And over and over, and it gets really loopy.
Right.
And that can be anxiety. Yeah.
Yeah.
So cognitive, those are.
So we've talked about cognitive, we talked about somatic.
Yeah.
Have we talked about behavioral?
No, behavioral. Okay. Yeah. What are some behavioral manifestations of fear and anxiety that you might recognize in yourself?
Yeah. I think it might feel, I think any emotion can be manifested. Most emotion can be manifested in the body. I don't, it can't. I think your chest can get tight for some people.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can get tense too with fear, like rigid, kind of like that freezing response you talked about.
Yeah, definitely.
What do you think behaviorally? How do you think fear would manifest to the body? Well, you also be running, running from bees,
running
or wolves.
Yeah, so those you're talking about too. Yeah, some more sensations or bodily sort of ways that anxiety can manifest. Behaviorally, I think about running, restlessness, that
agitation, not being able to sit still.
That used to be one of my main tells. Like I could not sit still for a movie.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I needed to be doing something all of the time.
Right.
And I'm better at this, but one of my when I start to get hypervigilant and scared, like I'm a fleer. I'm just going to stay busy. I'm going to stay busy. I'm going to distract myself. I'm going to do more work. I'm going to do more things. I'm just extra productive.
Right.
So that's, when you notice yourself and just not even, it could just be also like fidgetiness, like restlessness,
Right,
right?
wiggly.
Like in the body, like
Unable to hold still.
so that's why some of these things can start to look like ADHD because it's like
Yes.
you're
ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, and anxiety are so commonly mistook for one another. We have episodes on that as well about how important testing is to help people differentiate between the two.
This is one of the things I actually love to do with testing is some of this emotion 101 stuff.
Right.
Like when they come in with these symptoms and they're wanting to know what to attribute it to.
Right, to understand.
And then like if they're getting an anxiety disorder diagnosis because they are chronically anxious or hypervigilant. And then I love talking about fear and trauma because so much of us with anxiety disorders, we had adverse childhood experiences. But
well, I wanted to talk to you about another thing that a kind of example that I use in terms of hypervigilance. Another story.
Oh, okay. This is bonus story.
Twofer.
Yeah.
Twofer. No, so I think sometimes having, I use this a lot in my clinical work. I don't know how often I use it, but metaphors can help people understand things from a different perspective when it's sometimes not as personal towards them. So I kind of conceptualize hypervigilance, especially as it relates to trauma, as like a house. I tell people, imagine that you're a house and you're a nice house. The lights work. Everything's pretty good in the house. Things are functional. And you have an alarm system in the house, to detect danger or burglars or things like that. And then unfortunately something happens, a traumatic event happens, and the house is hurt, damaged, robbed, something severe and negative. And the alarm system, it went off, but it didn't functionally fully protect the house, right? And so after that event, the house tries to figure out how to protect itself from things happening. So what the house does in terms of hypervigilance is it definitely turns up the alarm way up, super sensitive. So that way that the alarm system in the house to prevent future danger.
Yep.
Where the alarm system is going to go off if a leaf hits the windowsill, the alarm will go off. And this keeps happening where the house is, again, it's trying to protect itself from future potential danger. It makes the sensitivity so high that it's going off all the time. The wind blows too hard. The alarm system going off. And then what happens to the body is that when your HPA axis is constantly, being activated, and when you're experiencing hypervigilance and that high level of cortisol, over time, the body becomes less responsive. And you can develop adrenal fatigue, but it becomes less responsive to cortisol. And in terms of the metaphor of the house, because every time a leaf hits the window, the house isn't being invaded.
Right.
The house over time learns to ignore its alarm. So because the alarm is not accurate in detecting danger, it learns to ignore its alarm. And eventually the alarm in terms of metaphor can almost be basically off.
Yeah.
Which is also not productive.
Yes, and
because then you can't accurately detect
if you're actually safe or not, because everything feels unsafe.
Yeah,
right, exactly. So I think when it comes to, I think I was going back to the behavioral, making sure that we also hit on those. But I think in terms of how to treat, what to do about fear.
What do we do about fear? How do we manage fear effectively?
Ultimately, name it to tame it.
Name it to tame it.
Be able to identify it inside of yourself in some kind of way.
Right. I literally encourage parents, people that I work with, patients to say it in your head, or if you're alone, say it out loud. I am scared right now. I'm feeling afraid. I am anxious.
And you can begin to do that if you start to notice some of these signs, some of the cognitive signs that we've outlined.
Or the bodily signs.
The bodily signs, behaviorally. We mentioned the restlessness, but, there is also irritability too.
Yeah, just feeling irritable without a reason.
Common one, irritability. Compulsive or repetitive behavior.
Yes.
Rigidity. When someone who's behaviorally very rigid, that's usually a behavioral manifestation of fear and anxiety. So once you can recognize that you are scared, name it.
Yep.
Okay. For me, I'm very somatic. I can feel it. I like to, and I think ultimately it's really helpful to teach people to be able to feel it in their bodies.
Right.
It's just a sensation that will pass.
Right.
And to be able to tell yourself and really believe I am safe.
I'm
right
safe.
now I'm actually safe. I'm okay.
There's actually not real wolves coming at me.
There are no wolves. I'm not going to live under a bridge. And
Right.
while it is financially, it's scary.
Sure.
I have friends.
You have resources.
Family. I have resources. It will be okay. But
Right.
it feels so scary. But you really have to be able to tell yourself that you are safe in some kind of way. Breathing through
Right.
that fear in your body, talking to your mind and that narrative that it spins.
Right.
Being able to ground yourself.
Grounding is, I think, a huge thing.
Notice your surroundings. When
Right.
you are scared, take stock of what you are doing.
Sure.
You are physically safe. Nobody is around. Everyone here loves you.
Right. And I think that you talked about like anxiety, but I think sometimes you have to relieve anxiety and fear. Sometimes you need to be calm and still within yourself, right? After you name it. And other times you need to sometimes maybe move your body, maybe go for a brisk walk.
Those
Go-
are the
go
things
to
that
the
will,
gym.
yes. So, ultimately it's about creating safety, but sometimes in order to do that,
To
right,
tolerate the
we have to
distress.
do like different, we engage in different kinds of strategies. So like for me, when I'm feeling it in my body, I breathe, and I tell myself I'm safe. That helps me.
Right.
But some people, especially like maybe when they're more restless or more irritable or have
Agitated.
more energy or agitation,
Right.
like some like intensive exercise,
Some type of movement.
some type of movement. I mean, walking to actually like for at least for trauma survivors when they're really really agitated or really really ramped up, like
Sure.
like intense, like kind of like getting it's like
Right.
a way to get all that energy, anger,
Yeah.
excess out. So some kind of, but for me, I'm less. I enjoy more of the down regulation
Sure, and it's about
strategies.
what your anxiety is telling you, what it
What it
needs.
needs.
What can you do, whether it's down regulating or up regulating, to
Yeah.
be able to tolerate that emotion
And
and receive the message.
Once you learn how it manifests inside of you, then you can kind of start to fit techniques that are good for you.
Yeah.
So if you notice restlessness, that activity is going to be so important. If you notice armoring, like for me,
Tenseness.
like bodily anxiety, I have to foam roll. I have to get regular massage. I have to
Stretching.
stretch. Like those
Yoga.
knots are all just physical manifestations of that cortisol
Yeah.
that's in my body.
Right.
It's just all in there.
Yeah.
So progressive muscle relaxation helps me so much when I'm
Sure.
armoring. But I'm a cognitive girly, so
Mhm, you are a
there's all that
cognitive
stuff about everything's black and white and
Right.
loopy and
Right.
catastrophic. So I have to like really be intentional
Sure.
about challenging that thought process.
Right. And I think recognizing that you're not being attacked by wolves, that you are safe, helps people receive the message that hopefully can be motivational.
Yeah, exactly. Just it's fear. We got to bring it down just enough.
Sure.
To where we can like really act with clarity. 'Cause
Right.
when we're scared, we just kind of react. We do.
Because the
We
ultimate
can.
message of all fear is motivation to action.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
whether it's a
Yeah.
thought, a physical action, like behavioral one,
Mm-hmm.
or other.
Mhm.
What are you going to take away from our conversation with fear today? You had a lot of anxiety about this episode.
I did. Thanks
not laughing
for
at you.
pointing that
I'm
out.
not laughing at you. I'm laughing
Kendall.
with you.
I know. And so, what's the first thing when you asked that question? My brain froze. And then I was like, oh, crap. Like, my brain's been kind of jumbly. Like, what am I going to say? Yes, because this was a stressful episode because I was very aware of my own fear and anxiety while we were talking about all this. Dude, like, what I have needed for like 3 weeks now is
Yes.
a massage.
I
Like,
have a great person. Yeah.
Well, thank you. I do. I have a person. I
Yeah.
just haven't done it because I
Right.
haven't prioritized it. My
Gotcha.
body is like, ugh,
Right.
in pain. So I am more acutely aware of that right now. So when we're done here, I'm going to schedule a massage.
Great.
Yeah.
Good job. Motivation to action.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I think I'm taking away I really appreciate the body's amazing ability. And I think recognizing how phenomenal the body is at helping us understand our experience, because the ultimate goal of all emotion is to tell us about our experience in the world. We haven't really talked about that. I think we should next time we talk about our emotions 101 is how the emotions as messengers work. But really today I want to leave everyone with my appreciation for generally like how unique we are in that sense, and like how our complex systems are so helpful
Mm-hmm.
if we can understand them
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
work with them.
Yeah. Yeah. And then sometimes just get some of these emotions down enough,
Yeah.
right, where we can move and we can make
Yeah,
change.
I hope people take away
Yeah.
the idea, at least the hope, that they can learn with a trained therapist how to manage their emotions. I think a lot of people feel out of control.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I
and when
think
we don't know what's happening,
it's hard to control
it's
it.
very, very, very hard to
Yeah.
feel like you have a sense of agency over your own healing. So that's
Right.
why the emotion 101 piece is so important to me. Like if you can recognize it,
Sure.
and you can name it, and you can figure out some
Right.
other way to cope, in
Right.
particular if you are, a little bit more severe in your dysregulation, if you do have that like
Mhm.
abuse, neglect, or just chronic stress in your
Sure.
childhood, it gets really hard to do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we appreciate you guys doing the hard work with us today.
Yeah.
This podcast is intended for informational and educational purposes only and is not a substitute for therapy, diagnosis, or any kind of professional mental health treatment. We hope that we can share with you our experience authentically and genuinely, and we hope that occasionally we'll make you laugh. Maybe you can relate to our quest and how we're psyched for sanity. The content we share is our personal opinions and insights. They are not clinical insights to anyone, and they don't represent or reflect any entity that we work and or have worked for in the past. But if listening to this podcast has made you think, we really encourage you to seek out a mental health professional in your area.